of those needy families.
It's this headline that angered many citizens who took to social media to question whether the Social Development Minister was in touch with the reality being faced by families across the country. The minister was responding to the long lines at South Park on Friday. In fact, the youth arm of the United National Congress wants Minister Cox to be reminded that she is a public servant and the people of this country are her employer. In a media release, the youth arm calls for the minister to not be greedy and resign. However, Minister Cox tells CNC3 News her comment was misinterpreted.
The headline was misleading because it gave the impression that I was saying that people was greedy and that their people were not in need. What I said, if you read in the context of what I said, was that of course there are people in need, and we would like the persons who are not in need to allow those in need to access whatever is being given to them.
According to Minister Cox, without a doubt, families continue to be pained by the pandemic, with some without jobs. She is, however, standing by her statement.
I think everybody knows the reality that in any situation there will always be those who are in need and who they may not be in need. All right, that is a reality. So I'm trying to figure out, why they're making an issue out of the fact that it is just that those in need, I am on their side.
While she could not provide statistics, the minister says fewer people have been applying for social assistance from the state.
I wouldn't want to at this point because some of the statistics may stop some charitable people from helping those who are in need. All right, because you remember there will always be those who will come in between and they really should not.
The minister says there is a system in place to ensure those in need get the required assistance from the government. This, as she noted, over 2,600 people double-dipped last year into government's COVID relief grants, costing an estimated $7.6 million. Pavita Gopalchan, CNC3 News.
The group Support Autism Trinidad and Tobago says it has been inundated with calls from families seeking hampers and other forms of relief. The founder of the group, Dr. Radhika Mahes, tells CNC3 News many autism families began struggling during the first lockdown last year, and as such, she says, by the time the second lockdown happened, the situation worsened for those families.
There wasn't enough time in between lockdown 1 and lockdown 2 for families to really find themselves in a better situation. In fact, in many cases, the breadwinner in the family only went back out to work for a short period, and that didn't really help them in any significant way.
She notes autism families already have to dig deep into their pockets to be able to survive.
It's important to understand that raising a child on the autism spectrum brings certain challenges. For example, many of them have special diets and they use medical supplements, and these are very expensive. Things like Pediasure, Pedialyte, different vitamins and so on. So even before COVID lockdown, many low-income families were struggling to get by, and losing an income just makes it worse for them.
Dr. Mahes says the group has already distributed over 200 hampers during this phase of lockdown. She calls on the Social Development Ministry to place more attention on families in the rural communities. Meanwhile, hundreds of people, many of whom lost their jobs, lined up from 5 o'clock this morning, waiting to collect free groceries and market produce in Penal.